How's it going, everyone? This is Mitchell Mander here, and it's been a little over a week since we got confirmation that Ash and Pikachu's final chapter within the Pokemon anime is happening at the beginning of 2023, with the Pokemon aimed to be a Pokemon Master mini-series. This will effectively end Ash's story, with new protagonists taking over in a brand new Pokemon series starting in April of 2023. With this announcement, many were quite emotional online, not wanting to say goodbye to Ash and Pikachu yet, and thinking that they should go to the Paldea region. While I was very surprised with this decision, I'm actually okay with Ash finally leaving the Pokemon anime after being the main protagonist for nearly 26 years. Now, I've mentioned in several past videos and even in some of my live streams why I want Ash's story to conclude here. But I figured I'd make a video to properly explain why I think it's time for Ash's story to conclude now, rather than years down the road. So I've personally been a fan of the Pokemon anime for a long time. I actually go back to the original series. I believe I started midway through the original series, around the time that Ash was in the Orange Islands. The Indigo League had pretty much concluded, so I was watching around that time. And then I eventually went back and rewatched the series as a kid, and eventually caught up to where Ash was currently at in the Johto region. Now, as a kid watching the series, I actually became hooked on the series and became a major fan of it. And I began to wonder if Ash would eventually win a league and become a champion, and become the very best like no one ever was, like the opening suggests. Now, if I'm being completely honest, Ash did not deserve his win in the Indigo League, as he was still a very green trainer considering he threw his untrained Krabby into a battle even though it ended up evolving and then sweeping his opponent. Still one of the most ridiculous matches in the entire Pokemon anime, for being completely honest. But he was also really cocky and was bragging a lot, and I didn't really care for that, and I didn't really think he deserved the win there. Though I will say that I think his loss should have been handled a lot better, because that episode, in my opinion, is one of the worst episodes in the entire Pokemon anime. But he would make up for that loss there by winning the Orange League. Even though that was an official league, it was actually still pretty cool that Ash got a major win this early into the series. Then we have Ash participate in the Johto League, a much better league in my opinion than the Indigo League. Although he ultimately lost, ending up in the quarterfinals this time instead of the top 16, he still showed massive growth by finally defeating his main rival, Gary, and then going down to the wire against his opponent, Harrison, in the quarterfinals, eventually losing with Charizard going down to Harrison's Blaziken. Now, while I continued to watch the anime going into the AG or Advanced Generation, which involved Ash going to the Hoenn region with Brock, May, and Max being his companions within this series, I was actually starting to lose interest within the Pokemon anime at this point, as I started to notice the pattern that would go on until X and Y, where Ash would go to the next region, start fresh, collect all 8 gym badges, and then ultimately lose the league, either placing in the quarterfinals or semifinals, which he did in Sinnoh. And while he did get better as a trainer and he did mature throughout the series, there were some hiccups here and there. Obviously, his battle against Tobias is still one I'm not very fond of, or his battle against Cameron, which is one of the worst moments for Ash, if I'm being completely honest. Finally, one of the most insulting moments in his career up to that point. Now, this all came to a boiling point for a lot of people, even myself, when Ash made it to the finals for the first time in a league, in the Kalos League, and still lost the match. And I still remember that day too, August 18th, 2016, a day that will live in infamy for Pokemon fans across the world. Now, if I'm being completely honest, I actually stopped watching the anime consistently during AG. Not that the series was bad, I just kind of started to lose interest, but I still kept up with it. Eventually, I came back full circle to the series during XY and started watching the series again, eventually going back and rewatching a lot of episodes that I missed from past series until I was caught up. So by the time we got to the Kalos League, I was pretty much caught up with Pokemon at that point. But yeah, when Ash lost against Alola in the Kalos League, yeah, like many others, I was very upset. And if I'm being completely honest, I was prepared to drop the Pokemon anime for good at this point. Even though I'd been watching for years, this upset me greatly. So I was like, alright, we're just going to be doing the same old. We're going in the Sun and Moon. It's just going to be the same thing over again. And they're just going to go to the next region. It's just going to be the same thing forever. But then we got the poster for Sun and Moon. And at first, a lot of us didn't like it, including myself. The series was Ash going to Pokemon school, so people were already turned off from this plot. And it was already going to be a drastic departure for the series in both plot and in the art style, which was completely different from X and Y. However, this ended up being the refresh the series needed, and it needed it desperately. Instead of doing the same old Pokemon anime formula of Ash going to a new region, competing in the league, and then losing, Sun and Moon completely subverts our expectations by essentially dropping that for most of the series. Obviously, there's no gyms in the Alola region. You have to pass the trials, which Ash does, but he does that on his own time, and he's not actually using that to compete in the league. And the series did have a rough start, and I wasn't sure how I felt in the beginning, but over time I realized how refreshing it was to me, and it's since become my favorite Pokemon anime series. And thus, we arrive at the Alola League. Now sure, making it free for everyone to participate may cheapen the hard work Ash went through in previous leagues to make it in, and then ultimately lose, but I personally give it a pass since it's the very first league in Alola, and they're just establishing it. So to me, it makes sense. Personally, I would have said, hey, pass a trial, or one grand trial and you're in. But I'll take it for what it is. It's the first league, so it's not a big deal to me. But then the question is, will Ash finally win this time around? And to be honest, especially in the early part of the league, there was some doubt at the time considering past leagues and just our expectations. I didn't want to get my expectations up too high that I'd end up being disappointed. So I was not sure that Ash was going to win at the time. And I even remember saying at the time, if Ash goes to the finals again, he has to win this time. He can't just go to the finals and lose. It would just be the Kalos League 2.0 here. So he has to win or just make it to the semifinals or something. So when he actually won, I was genuinely surprised. Finally, after all these years of watching the series on and off, Ash finally did it. He did the impossible by winning the league. He even proved himself worthy of the title by defeating Kukui in the battle following the league, which was one of my favorite, if not my favorite battles within the Pokemon anime in general. It's just such a great and fun battle in my opinion. And now that Ash finally won a league, the question was, what are they going to do with Ash once he's won this league? Because in the past, they always said, oh, if he wins a league, that's the end of the series. But he won this time and the series didn't immediately end. And we got the announcement that there was going to be another Pokemon series with Ash involved with it at that point. So what was Ash's goal going to be in the next series? Especially after winning the league. What are they going to do with him? Are they just going to do the same old and go back to the old formula and have Ash compete in the Galar League? And then go up against various trainers within the Galar region? And the answer to that is to become world champion. Yeah, that's Ash's main goal in the Pokemon Journey series, the follow-up to the Sun and Moon anime. Now, from the very get-go, I had a feeling that Ash's story would be coming to an end here, and why is that? It's because Pokemon Journeys focuses on Ash and his new buddy Go becoming research fellows and traveling around the entire world, at least all the available regions at that point being Kanto all the way to Galar. And this opened the gates for many past characters to return. In many ways, it could be seen as a conclusion for a lot of these characters, as this is more than likely the last time we're going to be seeing a lot of these characters within the anime, and not just Ash himself. Now anyways, Ash would end up participating in the Pokemon World Championships, or known in the dub as the World Coronation Series. His goal within the PWC was to defeat Leon, the #1 unbeatable trainer in the world, and this is quite a wall to climb because they established Leon as this really strong trainer that literally is defeating people that Ash previously lost to, like Flint and Alon. Alon he completely humiliated in the Masters 8 tournament. And this is the same person that Ash was struggling against until he went to the Kalos League and ultimately lost against him. So seeing Leon beat Alon so easily is a tough pill to swallow. So a huge wall that Ash has set up to climb going up against Leon. So Ash would battle his way up the Pokemon World Championships, eventually making it to the Masters 8 tournament, where he would defeat in order the #3, the #2, and the #1 ranked trainers in the world, being Steven Stone, Cynthia, and Leon, all regional champions themselves. And Ash defeating Leon was a huge moment and milestone for Ash's character, as he went from winning a regional league and a Alola League to becoming the literal world champion. And with that final battle between Charizard and Pikachu, there was like so many cameos in that final battle. From Ash's past companions making cameos, to his past Pokemon, being at Oak's lab, and also in that moment where Pikachu went to Pokemon Purgatory and saw all of Ash's prior Pokemon, including Butterfree and Pidgeot, which was crazy to see. But yeah, there was so many cameos here, and it really felt like things were coming full circle, and that Ash's story would be ending for real this time. Because let's be honest, nothing will ever top this moment in the Pokemon anime. Ash could continue to the next region, being Paldea, but what would he do next? They'd either have to age him up or give him something completely new to do in the next series, give him a completely new goal, so to say, in order for him to continue. Because, yeah, it wouldn't be great to see Ash win against Leon and then lose to someone in Team Star, or one of the gym leaders in the Paldea region. So, to me, it felt like ending things here would be for the best, for both the story and for Ash's character. But even after expressing these thoughts in several videos and even some of my live streams, I'd get people telling me all the time, but Mitchelmander, Ash is the main character, he has to keep going. He's iconic. He's not a Pokemon Master yet. He said that this is only his first step to becoming a Pokemon Master. And I'd always ask in response to that, then, well, what is a Pokemon Master? Because Ash himself doesn't even know what it is. I don't even think the staff fully know what it is either. It's probably something they're still trying to figure out. Which, I find this all to be very ironic, because now, not only is Ash's final chapter in the Pokemon anime confirmed to be happening following the conclusion of Journeys, the series itself is actually going to be addressing the Pokemon Master question, being named Pokemon aimed to be a Pokemon Master. And in the preview for the new series, Gary literally asks Ash if since he's now champion, what is his goal now? Is he close to becoming a Pokemon Master? And Ash doesn't even seem like he knows an answer to that. He's like completely puzzled. Now, obviously the episode could play out completely different, and it's just the way this was framed in the preview. But based on what we see here, Ash is just completely clueless. Like, he doesn't even know how to respond to Gary. Like, he doesn't know what a Pokemon Master is himself. Now, I think that this is a brilliant way to conclude Ash's story. We're bringing things completely full circle. Obviously, Pokemon Journeys has done a lot of things that feel like a conclusion to the Pokemon anime, but this effectively feels like a proper conclusion to Ash's story. This is something going back to the very beginning where Ash wanted to be a Pokemon Master, but he never had an answer to that question, or he didn't even know what a Pokemon Master is. So with this 11-episode miniseries, it's going to involve Ash trying to figure out that question. After becoming champion, what's next for him? Is he a Pokemon Master now, or is it something completely more than that? So he's going to be visiting some of his past companions. Obviously Brock and Misty are already confirmed, and Gary is confirmed. But it seems like there's going to be more characters appearing in this miniseries as well. Maybe Ash asks each one of them what a Pokemon Master is. They hang out for a day or two, and then they give him his answer. Maybe something like that happens, and maybe Ash starts to slowly figure out what a Pokemon Master is over time. And by the time we reach the end of this 11-episode miniseries, with Ash's story coming to an end, he finally realizes that he's a Pokemon Master now. And that's it. That's the end of his story. Personally, this is a fantastic way to end off Ash's story, especially following up his biggest achievement ever. And because everything feels like it's going full circle, and it doesn't really feel like they could continue his character after such a monumental win and after addressing the Pokemon Master question, there's really nothing else for Ash's character at that point. It's really the best time to conclude his character, and that's why I am personally okay with Ash leaving the Pokemon anime. Alrighty guys, that's all I got for this video. I just wanted to share my thoughts on this. This is something I've been thinking about for honestly the last week, so I wanted to properly address it in this video. And who knows, Ash could still exist in the new Pokemon series. Maybe the new main protagonist, their main goal is to eventually defeat Ash one day, or get to his level or something, or at least meet him. Maybe he's just a hidden character, and then we see him towards the end of the series. Who knows what they're planning on doing, but he could still potentially exist within this series. So maybe this is not the end of Ash completely, but basically his story as the main character, and his focus and his time in the spotlight as the main protagonist is just coming to an end. Who knows what they're going to do, but whatever they're going to do, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the end of the Pokemon anime with Ash as the main character, and obviously the start of the brand new Pokemon anime with a new protagonist. It's all interesting, it's all unique, it's all new, so I guess we're just going to have to see how everything is handled. Anyways, guys, if you're someone that's new to the channel and you're stumbling across this video for the first time, it'd be pretty cool if you would check out the channel, sub to the channel, like this video, all that cool stuff. I do videos like this, anime reviews, specifically the Pokemon anime, and I also do live streams. So yeah, it'd be pretty cool if you would check out the channel. Anyways, guys, that's all I got for this video. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good day or night, and I'll see you all later. Bye.